Warning, this show is uncensored. If you're a sensitive person who can't handle real conversation about topics that can be triggering, then why the fuck did you click on a video titled One Asshole's Opinion? You know what, Snowflake? You deserve whatever happens when this discussion upsets you. Grab your pacifier, wrap up in a blanket, get your stuffed animals, and watch something else. Otherwise, please enjoy. Welcome to One Asshole's Opinion, where I give my opinion on whatever the fuck comes into my head, completely uncensored. And this week, there's a big story that had happened just a couple days after I did the last episode of this show. There was a helicopter accident with Kobe Bryant and
his daughter and a number of other people.
Yeah, I think at first they were saying 5, and then they were saying, I believe, 9. And first things first, I want to say, because I'm not even going to be humorous with this one because I don't find any of this funny. Rest in peace to Gianna Bryant, his daughter, who was 13, Peyton Chester, who was 13, Alyssa Altobelli, who was 14, her mother, Carrie Altobelli, 46, her father, John Altobelli, 56, and Christina Mauser, age 38. There was Sarah Chester, age 45, and the pilot, Era Zobayan, who was 50, who also lost their lives. And while everyone was talking about the loss of Kobe Bryant, not a lot of places were talking about all of the other people. And I think that, the fact that there was a girl and both of her parents, and she
that
had,
wasn't the entire family.
Yeah, they had, I believe, 2 other kids that are now missing their sister and missing both parents. I get that there's a lot of fans of Kobe out there, but there were other people that lost their lives. Kobe also had other kids that not only lost their father, but lost their sister. So I wanted to start off by bringing out that these are names that should have been just as prominent in this story. It doesn't seem fair that because who he was the only one that they wanted to talk about. That being said, I have a different take on the Kobe thing than a lot of people do. And this is going to offend a lot of people out there, but fuck Kobe Bryant. Fuck him. Fuck that piece of shit. Because I remember when he admitted to being a rapist. Mm. He was accused of being a rapist, and part of his way of getting it taken care of outside of court was he had to apologize. And I do have his full apology here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll read some highlighted sections. But what a lot of people aren't remembering, when they're remembering, oh, he scored this many points, and he did this, and he was in the NBA for this long, and he was so great. I think that it's pretty fucked up knowing that he had a woman that was brutally sexually attacked by him, who is seeing on all of her social media what a great guy her attacker was. And I don't think that that's fair.
No.
I just don't. A lot of people are like, oh, but he didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of exaggerations and lies. What's his name? The comedian Dave Chappelle was like, she showed up with 7 other men's semen.
Now,
according to this, there was 1 other person's semen, but that meant she had consensual sex with someone.
And then he raped her.
Then he raped her. Then she got checked.
And had both.
But it was 1 other person, not 4, like I've heard some people report, not 7, like Dave Chappelle said, 1. So she had consensual sex with 1 person. Doesn't mean she didn't get raped
by him,
by someone else. I wasn't there. I'm not saying I know for a fact. I'm saying it's kind of weird that he apologized for it and admits that she doesn't. Well, I'll get into it. She said that he raped her in his hotel room, and it was settled out of court and included him publicly apologizing to his accuser. He originally told investigators he didn't have sex with her, a 19-year-old at the time who worked at the hotel where he was staying. See, just talking about this beforehand, it's like, oh, wasn't she a stripper? No. Was it, it's funny how, like Alex pointed out, the spin. People remember things that are being said by other people about the thing and not the actual facts. These are the actual facts. When the officer told Bryant that she had taken an exam that yielded physical evidence, including his semen, he said, okay, well, I did have sex with her, but it was consensual. So then they said, well, why are there so many bruises on her neck? And he admitted he strangled her during the encounter because he held her from the back around the neck, and strangling during sex was his thing.
Ugh.
Was his thing. He didn't say it was her thing. He said it was his thing, which I'm not even saying that that's not a kinky thing that a lot of people enjoy. So I know for a
Yeah,
fact.
but if it's a one-sided thing,
Yeah, both of them have to kind of be in agreement for that. They said, how would holding onto her neck cause this kind of damage? And he says, my hands are strong. I don't know. He did not explicitly ask her for consent during the time that he was having sex with her, except at the end when he said, can I come on your face? And she said no. So he remembers her saying no to at least that part. With the collected evidence, there was an arrest warrant issued, and he was released on $25,000 bond. That doesn't always mean you're guilty, it means you're accused. But after everything was dropped, the main person in charge of trying to prosecute him said that, oh no, I absolutely believe he was guilty, but his legal team worked out something with her legal team, and she wasn't willing to testify because charges were dropped. And a lot of people say, oh, well, that's because she got all sorts of money. Well, in his apology, he says, I want to make it clear I do not question the motives of this young woman. No money has been paid to this woman. So for people that are like, oh, she did it for the money. If he says I'm not paying
pay
any
her,
money,
right.
Now he could be lying, I don't know, but he could have been lying about, I don't know, the whole raped her thing. There was, a high school friend of the accuser was a bellman at the resort and said when she came downstairs, she was very upset and told me Kobe Bryant just forced me to have sex with him. Like the first thing she said to somebody after the encounter was, I was just forced to have sex.
and that's not something you do.
Right. Like
If it was
if you're
consensual,
willingly
what you
doing
say
it,
is, hey, guess
you
what? I
usually
just
don't
had sex
immediately
with Kobe.
flip
Like,
the script to try to get money. You usually think of that like later on going, hey, I could get paid off this. You usually don't stumble downstairs like disheveled in tears unless it was a bad encounter. They tried to say she was on drugs. They were trying to say that she was sleeping around. They tried to claim there was multiple men's semen. Yeah, the multiple was her current boyfriend or whatever and Kobe Bryant's because she had sex consensually with her boyfriend and then Kobe Bryant had sex with her. But some of his, I'll read some of his apology. So these are the words of Kobe Bryant. First, I want to apologize directly to the young woman involved. I want to apologize for my behavior that night and the consequences she has suffered in the past year. Although this year has been incredibly difficult for me personally, I can only imagine the pain she's had to endure. I want to apologize to her parents and family members and to my family and friends and supporters and the citizens of Eagle, Colorado, where it happened. Like, that seems a little weird, like, because whatever.
I mean, it was their money wasted on trial or whatever if it ends up getting dropped anyways, right?
But it says, I also want to make it clear I do not question the motives of the young woman. Like I said, no money has been paid. I truly believe this. I believed this encounter was consensual. I recognize now she does not view this incident the same way I did. After months of reviewing discovery and listening to her attorney and even her testimony, I understand she feels she did not consent. He admits that she didn't say no except for the part where he wanted to finish on her face. That was when she just, there was a civil lawsuit over the incident, and they never really disclosed what happened to the public other than they knew that he had to publicly apologize.
Right.
And again, if you're accused falsely of rape, do you publicly apologize or do you fight tooth and nail because you're like, I am not going to admit to attacking someone against their will.
Right. But you also, like, in that case, if it's you get 30 years for rape or you apologize publicly, I don't want to spend 30 years in jail.
So you would rather like be a free man and have everyone in their heads know you were guilty than know you're innocent. I know people that went to jail because they were innocent and refused to say otherwise. Because they weren't, because sometimes your personal like self-respect on a topic is more important.
Yeah, but I don't want to go to jail.
But you'd rather have everyone think you're a piece of shit rapist?
Well, they already think the first part.
I don't know. Anyway, they estimate that after his apology that there was a settlement, but no one knows how much. Estimates were like millions, but I'm not even going to report exactly that part because nobody actually knows except for her and him. Well,
he doesn't anymore.
I'm sure his wife knew. And I didn't like the fact that his wife publicly was like,
upset with him.
I'm more, the only thing she was upset about was that he had cheated on her. It's like, well, if it was a forced encounter, that's not just cheating.
It's also illegal.
Yeah. And one of the things he had said on this first page here, he said that the strangling, he said it was his thing and he had a pattern of strangling a different sex partner, not his wife, during their recurring sexual encounters. So on a separate account, he was also cheating a lot and choking someone else who liked it. So he just did it to her.
And that's fucked up.
Again, there are women that are like, a little pressure on the neck is good, whatever. I'm not even getting into that because some people like it, some people don't.
But both
but if you're
parties
doing it
have to be
that's the thing.
Fine
that's
with
the
it.
thing. So as much as, again, I feel bad for people that feel that they have a loss, his kids did lose a father.
And I feel bad for them.
And there haven't been stories of him doing this type of stuff since then. He's, maybe he's completely straightened out. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying he didn't find Jesus and get forgiven. What I'm saying is everybody saying how great he was seemed to be forgetting a major issue in his history.
Right.
Like I said to you, there was a show I was listening to that's from LA that referred to it as he had some rough
Personal
patches
issues.
in his personal issues along the way. It's like personal issues. I think that's a little more than personal.
Yeah.
And then the fact that his wife was going to leave until he bought her a giant diamond, all sorts of stuff. That was all public.
So I do feel bad that his kids lost their father.
Absolutely.
And I feel
and
especially
their
bad
sister.
and their sister, and I feel especially bad that they had a piece of shit father because that's just fuck that.
I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, if anyone watches this, they're going to say, how can he attack Kobe Bryant after he died? When Bill Cosby dies, expect me to have
do the
similar
same thing.
Similar shit, except with him, there's like 50 plus women.
Right.
It was a long time pattern with that guy. But I don't believe that just because someone dies, suddenly they were perfect. That's not how it works.
Right.
It's just not. It's like, and I know nobody wants to think of the bad stuff, but imagine you were forced against your will to have sex. And then the person who did that passed away, and all you heard on TV, on the internet, whether it's your Facebook or Instagram or whatever, everybody and their mother talking about how amazing and great the person was who did that to you. So I also right now feel very sorry for the victim.
Right. Because it's like this.
Because all she hears is the guy that did it was amazing.
Right. Because it's like this. Okay. He was good at basketball.
That doesn't... Okay.
Bill Cosby was good at comedy. Guess what? Fuck him too.
Yeah, he's still a piece of shit.
Like...
Weinstein. There was a lot of good movies made under his company.
And guess what? He's a piece of shit.
So, anyway, like I said, I had to give give the names of the other victims. And as much as I feel for, the people who have lost anyone that died on that, he himself, his behavior doesn't deserve all the accolades that I see him getting. But what do I know? I'm just an asshole, and that's just my opinion.